I was there the day the humans lost their ship. The Ardent Dawn vanished while mapping a singularity on the edge of Council space, a joint mission between our people and theirs. One moment she was a spark on the sensors, the next she was gone, pulled into the throat of a black hole so deep our instruments screamed and died. We all watched the telemetry collapse, the energy spike, the swirl of radiation, the sudden silence. No ship ever comes back from that, not once in our history. The Council declared them dead before the debris cooled. The humans didn't. Commander Amani stood in the chamber while the announcement was read. Her uniform was still scorched from the rescue attempt, eyes hollow but steady. When the Council concluded its condolences, she said only 4 words. "We're bringing them back." The room erupted in disbelief. The Trillians whispered that it was grief. The Valari muttered that humans had finally snapped. But she didn't shout or argue. She simply left the chamber and went to work. Within weeks, the humans built a new observatory around the singularity. They called it the Promise Array. Our people sent a few scientists to watch, convinced it would fail. I was one of them. For months they stared into the darkness, running scans that made no sense, inventing instruments faster than we could understand them. They stopped sleeping. They stopped smiling. Then one day the array caught a flicker. A whisper of radio static buried deep inside the noise. Repeating. Faint. Human. It was a heartbeat. The humans celebrated like they'd won a war. Our engineers told them it was impossible, an artifact of their equipment. The signal had to be background radiation. Amani only said, "It's them. They're waiting." The Council voted to end funding. The humans voted to sell their own ships for parts. Construction began again. Year 1 passed, then Year 2. Every model they built to simulate the Dawn's survival failed, but they kept going. They argued over equations no one else believed, designed reactors that shouldn't exist, and kept that faint heartbeat alive on every monitor. By the 3rd year, our observers stopped laughing. The humans had turned their obsession into an industry. Universities taught courses on singularity stability. Children sent drawings of the Dawn to the crew of the Promise Array. The phrase, "bring them home," was painted on every hull. I asked one of their scientists, a tired man named Dr. Holt, why they kept doing this. He smiled without humor. "Because they're not gone. They're just waiting for us to catch up." 5 years after the disappearance, the humans unveiled the Resolve. It was not a rescue ship in any traditional sense. It was a weaponized experiment, a vessel built to fold gravity around itself long enough to dive where light could not escape. Every Council physicist said it would tear apart before crossing the event horizon. Amani stood on the launch deck, the same uniform, the same calm voice. She looked thinner, older, like time had been sanding her down. I asked her what she expected to find inside. "People who kept a promise," she said. The engines ignited, bright as newborn suns. The Resolve vanished into the singularity, and the universe held its breath. For 30 hours we heard nothing. Then a voice crackled through the static. "This is the Resolve! We have them!" No one moved. No one spoke. Every monitor in the array showed readings that should not exist. 2 ships, not one, rising from the edge of a black hole. The Resolve towing something broken and burning, but alive. The Ardent Dawn. The docking bay smelled of ozone and old fire when they returned. The Dawn looked skeletal, her hull melted in places, her paint long gone. But she was whole, and inside, so were the crew. Out of 36, 22 were alive. They were pale, thin, eyes sunken, but they walked off the ramp under their own power. "How?" I whispered. The survivors told their story in fragments. Time inside the singularity did not move the same. They had lived for years, while we counted weeks. They built farms from recycled air filters, used gravity fluctuations for energy, and waited. Every day they sent out a ping. Just one. A heartbeat in the dark. Because they knew someone would be listening. The council tried to make speeches. The humans ignored them. They carried the survivors out under the sunlight and let them breathe real air again. Later, I saw Commander Amani sitting beside Captain Reyes of the Dawn. He was thinner than her now, beard grown wild, eyes bright with exhaustion. She handed him a ration pack and he laughed. "Took you long enough?" he said. She smiled for the first time in years. Traffic was bad. The rest of the galaxy still talks about it as a miracle of engineering, a defiance of physics. We write papers about new gravitational models and energy signatures. But none of that is the real story. The truth is simpler. Humans do not let go. They do not surrender to the impossible. They will burn the laws of reality to keep a promise. When other species stare into the void, they learn acceptance. The humans stare too. And then they go in after you.